Hello, this is Charlie. Well, this is a proper reading from spirits to tell you the ins and outs of what's going to happen and what isn't going to happen to do with President Bush and his wars, you know. Anyway, the spirit is John F. Kennedy. Hello everybody. It is me again, because with me being an American citizen when I was alive and a president, this is why I'm coming through. And I know everything about Bush, I really do, which you people don't know. And some of these things might shock you. Well, anyway, what's going on at the moment is Bush behind closed doors. You know, why we're saying all this is because of two reasons. Is we want you people to believe life after death, and another reason is we want you to get Bush out of power. And it's making, when you've heard this, it might give you a bit more boost. These people that's just sitting on their backsides, and the ones that's actually helping, and the ones that's taking it for granted, who are trying to get off their backside. So there are two reasons. The first thing is, behind closed doors, as I said before, is to do with oil, because the Americans want control of the oil, like I said. And if you haven't got control of the oil, and the Middle East are the last ones with the oil, is Americans have got no defence of their country, and they lose any war. And this war, and President Bush, his dad, and everything else, he was asked to actually go in to be a president. He was asked, because he knew what sort of person he was, and he'd have a lot of bottle to actually start a war, because the UN was actually doing a good job in the way that they think's best, in a peaceful way. And Bush, you see, needed an excuse, because he couldn't go over the UN, because he wouldn't take any notice of them. And they want to do it because that's what the UN was formed for, to keep peace in the world. But they wanted control of the oil, so they had to start a terrorist racket, if you want to put it that way. You know, most of them terrorists are still alive. Some of you know all these facts, but some of you don't. But basically that's what it is. And they planned everything to do with the Twin Towers, even London. You know, believe it. They're facts. And government, they do what they're doing it because of the control over oil, to do with defence of their country, because they think they've got a more right, because the Americans think they're the police of the world, if you want to put it that way. And like I said, I didn't agree with a lot of policies, but Bush does. And that's why I said before, he's got in power the second time, because of the mess he's already made. You know, well, he doesn't think it's a mess, he thinks he's got everything under control. And even the Iran, you know, which shortly something will happen in Iran, you know. But is Bush going to listen to all you people that's demonstrating that no war in Iran? He's not going to listen, you know. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. And he's going to make more bullshit up to do with Iran, which he is at the moment. And even the UN, he even actually told people in the UN that that's where the main terrorist is coming from. You know, is it? Do you people think he's right? He's making crap up again. He's making bullshit up again. You know, the Middle East and Iran, all them, they've oil, you know, and there's something standing in the way again, you know. Bush is trying to correct his name as well by having a war with Iran, and that's what he's trying to do again. But apart from that, there's a few comments which Charlie's had, and you know, one comment, you know, that comment was actually, you don't need someone that's psychic, a medium or anything to tell the general public of what's going on. If they open their eyes, they'll actually see the facts for themselves. Well, that's right, you know, but there's a couple of reasons why we're doing it, and we just said that before. I've said it before. But the thing is, there's a lot of people that don't take these facts in, and there's a lot of people that you people don't know about that actually listen to people life after death. They have messages, they go to churches every week to get guidance off spirits. That's what this is. So you people with these comments actually, you know, should have an open mind about it. That's even we're trying to help and Charlie. Because what else are we here for? You'll all be up here one day, and you'll all be doing what we've been doing. What can we do? We've got to help, because the world's going down. You know, even Bush's wars, basically, they won't get anywhere. You know, there'll be loads of people killed, and there'll be this and that, as usual, the policies of the American government, you know. And their policies are wrong. Somebody does a murder, and they get put in prison. The government's killed thousands of people, and it's to do with foreign policies. I mean, so stupid. But Bush should be really put away. He's a bad, evil man. But you know what? It won't happen. He will not get put away. You know, because he'll come up with some bullshit, and his daddy's there, and there's a lot of people backing him up. You know, there's even general public actually backing him up. You know, but is it right what he's doing for the sake of defence for his country? Because he's not the old saying, well, you know, we'll have the last drop of oil, we're dead. You know, this, that, and the other. But there should be a peaceful agreement to do with this oil. There should be, and they're not. I mean, even President Bush to do with China, and he was on the telly. I mean, what's going on there? You know, the Americans have never gone on with China. Is Bush paying somebody? Well, we won't do a guessing game, but there's something behind closed doors that's going on, believe me. You know, and it's not right. China, Bush is trying to whitewash everybody. You know, he has holes over a lot of people because he's got a lot of money. And it's wrong. You know, even his own people, even foreign ministers and foreign prime ministers and everything. He thinks everyone's stupid bar him. Americans think they're so smart. You know, they're not stupid, but they can do with it better. You need something different. You actually need a different government and a different type of system that actually run these governments. It's been going on too long with gangsters and it's one thing and another, because that's all Bush is. He's just a gangster. You know. Well, anyway, is there going to be a war in Iraq? You said it, and you know it. They're not going to take any notes of anybody. Bush is going to go ahead with what he's got planned, and the UN, you know what, can't do anything about it, because he's filling them up full of bullshit, and he's got to go by their policies. I'll have to go now. Bye-bye. I'll be back with another message shortly. Bye-bye.